Hey, what's up guys? RH here from Purecast9, and this is a very different setting from what I'm used to and what you are used to as well. I am recording this video in my room because I do not have access to my studio right now, but that's besides the point. The exciting news today is that you know how people have been raving about the iPhone 8, the 8 Plus and the iPhone 10 having the ability to record 4K at 60 frames per second. Now, without a doubt, that is really impressive, and that's a huge feat to have that kind of technology in a smartphone. And iPhone is the first one to do that because it's actually a very high range DSLRs, and very few of them too actually have the ability to shoot 4K at 60 frames per second. And many people, including myself, I love shooting at 60 frames per second, even if I'm not shooting in 4K. I always shoot in full HD, and I love 60 frames per second because the motion in the images are so much more smooth. So you get a very smooth, fluid range of motion. And trust me guys, once you get used to 60 frames per second, you will not use 30 frames per second. But the only reason I refrain from using 60 frames per second is because the file sizes are double their original size, because it's got 50% more, or it's got double the amount of frames that you would otherwise have in 30 frames per second. So coming to the important news, the Galaxy Note 8 is going to get, through a software update, the ability to shoot 4K at 60 frames per second. So I think, or I suspect that this is going to happen before the iPhone 10 launches, since although the Galaxy Note 8 is pitted directly or against the opposite, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, its main contender or its main opponent is still the iPhone 10. And that is going to be a very impressive device, no doubt about that. So I would, if I was Samsung, I would definitely roll out that software update to make my Note camera on par or better than that of the iPhone 10. So it's been kind of confirmed. I'm saying kind of because we don't have it set in stone yet, but I'm like 95% sure that the Galaxy Note 8 is going to get the ability to shoot 4K at 60 frames per second through a software update. So yeah, that's going to be really good. And I might do a video later on where I'll show you the difference between 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second, and how much more smooth the video turns out to be when you see. Or you can just do a search on YouTube as well and check out various videos that show you the difference between these two shooting modes. Anyway guys, that's been the exciting news. So for all of you who've got yourself the Galaxy Note 8 like I have, and I'm shooting on that right now, I'm loving the device. Beautiful device, very powerful. And the reason I did not go for the iPhone this year, and I'm not really an Apple fanboy at all, it's because I'm being able to do so much work on my Galaxy Note 8. So that is again for a separate video. So stay tuned, do subscribe to Purecast9 if you haven't already, and be on the lookout for the update. It's going to be exciting. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.